This video has been voiceovered for the blind and visually impaired.
Extended family living, homesteading on an acre. Pickling, making dill pickles. Music, Blue Mountains by Gabriel Witcher. Filmed and edited by Michel Gontier. We open up with a video of my mom slicing cucumbers. These cucumbers have already been washed. I still need to finish washing the rest of the cucumbers that we're going to use for this batch.
We are using approximately 1.5 bushels of cucumbers for this project.
Now for tossing the cucumbers into the wash bucket. And of course, I gotta do this in slow motion. Here, I'm rinsing the cucumbers off and wiping them with a clean towel. Alright, bringing the dirty cucumber water from washing the cucumbers outside. Yep. Whew, it's hot out. Here back inside, I'm pouring water into one of the crocks.
That's 2 gallons. Yep.
Now my mom goes over to the crocks and she dumps the pickling lime into the larger of the 2 crocks.
What's handy?
Our crocks are large pottery containers. Some people could say that they resemble a very large straight-sided plant pot. They are round. These are specifically made for doing pickling and fermenting foods. They do get washed every time we use them. As you can see, my mom just finished dumping the lime into the large of the 2 crocks. The crock on the left is larger than the crock on the right.
Yay!
Correction, not round, cylindrical.
3 gallons of water this time?
I did, because they can't find lime. Here.
Here our sliced cucumbers are now soaking in pickling lime. They'll be there for 24 hours in these crocks. And then we'll take them out and we'll do the rest of the pickling process.
The next day.
3/4 of a cup of salt in this.
So you got water, vinegar, now you're after salt.
Here, a nice lady is helping us with the pickling process and learning at the same time.
Yeah, no caking agents.
Right.
Means it's good for you.
It is, yeah.
So you need 2 of those in there,
Oh, too.
just like that.
The lady that's learning is putting the ingredients into a large stock pot,
So
which
need
we will
4
later cook the
tablespoons of
ingredients
pickling
in.
spice.
4 tablespoons.
4
of-
tablespoons of that into here. So
Now
this
my
has to
mom
be
is showing her how to
through here,
repair a
all the
bag
way
that you put
around.
your ingredients into, other
Okay, go
spices that you set
Sometimes
inside your
the
liquid that
second
you're
one,
boiling.
but,
This bag is also
Okay,
used for doing jellies.
Then we can tie it in there and this.
Mhm.
You slide it onto the pin,
Mhm.
pull it through. Your job, don't spill the spices.
Oh, I'll try not to.
If you do, we'll have to add more to it, that's all. Focusing is very difficult today. And I know why. Because we have a dodge, not a focus. Okay, so then, you get the end of this thing out. Where'd it go? There. Take the pin off. And then instead of having to do this all over again, I should take that knot out and tie a knot close to the end.
Mm.
And that way, it's in the bag and we don't have to redo that. If you were making a gathered skirt or something, you'd do the same thing.
Really?
It would be folded over like this, slide the pin through with the elastic or whatever you're using, and then you just pull it like that, and it sets in the stuff there. So my thought is,
Oh, tie it off.
tie it right there, because it's going to go out on that burner thing, and I don't want it to catch fire. And do that. Okay, what else do we need in there? We got pickling spice, water, salt, vinegar. Okay, all we gotta do is heat it to boiling. Then pack the cucumbers in hot, sterile jars. Add the mustard seed, garlic, and dill plant or seed to each jar. So we put this on the burner out there, get it going. And then while that's going, we're gonna take like 12 jars, 14 jars. So first we put this out there on the stove.
Okay.
Pack cucumbers in the jars. Add mustard, garlic, and dill plant or seed to each jar. So we got dill, garlic, and mustard. And that says whole mustard seed. So I went and ground all that. Oh, here he comes, just in time. Okay, so we're gonna use pints. This is done in quarts.
Okay.
So it's 1 teaspoon, and garlic cloves, it's 1 heads of dill, or dill seed, it's 1. Oh, that makes it easy, because we're doing pints instead of quarts. And then they go in a boil.
Here you can pause the video so you can see the actual recipe. Here Mom and the lady who's helping us are putting the spices and the garlic into the jars that is supposed to be in the jar.
Okay, that takes care of those.
So when you're making pickles, you have some ingredients that you put into the jar itself. These ingredients are particular spices such as mustard and the dill.
I just brought in our pickle
and
juice.
Garlic.
Oh, that
Then
smells good.
you have other pickling
Doesn't that
spices
smell nice?
and other ingredients that
Okay.
are cooked into the pickle
And
juice that you
then
make, that you boil on the
Take
stove.
this gooey stuff here, it isn't gooey, but this stuff here, and pour it over the top.
For the funnel sitting on top of the jar,
Enough of it?
Mom
If we don't,
takes a
mix
ladle
more.
and she starts ladling in the
Yeah, then we
pickle
just
juice
put a
into the
lid
jar.
on,
The
and we'll
funnel is
process them
to
out on the
stop
other
the top of the
thing.
jar
If
from
you
getting
wanna-
dirty from putting the pickle juice
What do you
in.
want to do?
Whatever you don't want to do.
Okay, here you go.
Fill the
I'll
jars?
watch.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe.
See, it should be up to this ring here, so I don't have it quite full enough of the liquid. So I'll add a little bit more.
Okay.
Like that. But when you set it down, it should be up to that ring.
Now the other lady takes over the process of putting the liquid into the jars.
Oh, is that what you're
And Mom takes over the process of packing the jars. While they're doing this, I'm peeling more garlic by hand so that we can put it into the pickles. We're making kosher dill pickles. And here you see me peeling the garlic.
Most modern homesteaders think, oh, we'll freeze everything.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
What
so
if
you have
lose
no power.
Yeah.
Then what have you got?
Rotten
Several
food.
freezers full of rotten food. Oh, we have generators. What if you can't get gas?
Right.
Well, we can always get gas. Well, no.
Not always.
And
Right.
can you afford it if you could get it?
Right.
That one needs liquid as well.
As the young lady fills the gallon jars with the fresh batch of
Okay.
pickle juice. My mom washes
Okay,
the
what?
pickles that just came out of the crock that were sitting in the lime all night, and then she puts them into the
You
jars.
need to order more gallon jars or half gallon jars?
I got half-gallon jars out in the shed, so you could do that.
You got enough jars now or not?
For this batch, I think. I gotta pound this down. There. Put in there. Put in there. There was some sticking up on end, and I didn't want a big hole down in there.
You definitely,
Oh well,
Doesn't look like it got wet at all.
I don't think it did. I think it went beside it. So I'm almost done. Got almost all of them out of here. That'll be enough for another pint. Get in there. Thank you.
As one lady takes the cucumbers that have been sliced and washed after being put in the lime for 24 hours, she is also reaching over and putting the cloves of garlic
that
in.
mean I need
Well,
to
the
do more
other one
cloves of garlic?
takes the other ingredients that go into the jar and puts them in. Right now they're working with gallon jars, so this means they have to increase the amount of garlic and other spices that they put in before they add the liquid.
Do you want me to pick it up?
Both of us can.
it's gonna take 2 people to lift that one up.
This is a 2-person bucket. You know it's empty.
It looks like a 2-person bucket for sure.
Now Mom and the other lady reach down and they pick up the
Two-person
large
bucket
crock and
when
sit
it's
it on
empty.
top of the chair.
There.
Solid.
Correction, that's actually the smaller of the 2 crocks.
Do you need? Okay.
So that's the water we rinse in.
Mhm.
And then we go to the jars. I think it smells like it's boiling.
Mhm.
I don't know if it is for sure.
Here Mom continues to take the cucumbers out of the pickling lime bath and she puts them into a stock pot that is for the wash water that she rinses them off with before putting them into the jars. While the other lady goes outside and tends to the pickle juice that we're making by boiling on the stove outside in the other stock pot. And I continue doing the filming as well as peeling the garlic. For those of you that don't realize, this is a 2-day process in making pickles. If you want pickles to have a good crunch, they have to have a 24-hour period in pickling lime in order to make them have that nice crispness. If you don't, you're going to have a soft, limp
Mess down
pickle.
there.
Here they continue pouring the pickle juice from the next batch
That'll
that we
give you a
made
hand.
into the jars, but this time instead of using a ladle, because we're working with gallon jars,
It
they're
might
using
be,
a
or it
measuring
might be
cup.
my eyes too, so I'm not sure.
Possibly either way.
Highly probable my eyes.
I think we're gonna have enough for all.
Okay, it is so humid that day that we're doing this that it was not my eyes, it was actually the
Because we
camera
still got
lens
this jar
fogging
here
up.
and this one. Boiling water bath for 15 minutes for quarts and 10 minutes for pints. And gallons will be longer.
Oh, okay.
Pickle juice boiling away while canners are being loaded beside it. After putting the jars into the
Yep.
canners, then we load the canners with water so that we can do the water bath canning process. Now, after lighting the stove, they grab the metal shelving next to it. This shelving is used as a shield to protect the burners from being blown out by the wind. And photos of the finished product. Kosher Dill Pickles. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.